Hello everybody, I'm Gary and this is Physical Format Rock and Roll. Thank you so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate that. Cheers, BC. Anyway, I want to do a bit of an album review or just talk about it at least from an artist that I love. I know a lot of you do. I'm talking about Dio Evil or Divine. Now I realize some of you are looking at this and saying this is not a new album. I realize that. It has been out for quite a while now. But the estate of Dio released a handful of albums within the past year. Some live albums, some reissues. And if some of you are like me, you can't always get everything right when it comes out because of money or whatever. And I'm trying to be a little bit like my friend Mega Jeff, who seems to wait sometimes and get things when the price goes down. That's what I did with this. I have waited a while to buy this one. This is a live album. It's from 2002. So this would be off of the Killing the Dragon tour that Ronnie was doing at the time. Let me show you the lineup here. It's Ronnie James Dio, Jimmy Bain, Simon Wright on drums, Jimmy Bain, of course, on bass, played with Rainbow when Ronnie was in there. Doug Aldridge on guitar, who after he left this, he went to Whitesnake. And Scott Warren on keyboards. Great lineup there. Some fantastic musicians. Like I said, they released a handful of albums and several, or not several, but a few live albums. I chose this one because of the time period. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of Dio on vinyl yet. It's mostly on CD and cassette. So I have to be more selective. I looked at the song lists, which I will show you here. You can kind of read that. I will read off some of those here in a minute. But this is quite the ordeal, quite the set. This is not one, not two, but a 3-record set from Dio. And this is pretty cool. Let me show you. This is how, this is what the sleeves look like. So that's pretty cool, pretty wicked looking, right? The albums themselves are just your basic black, but they got that cool looking picture in the middle there, the label. It also comes with this two-sided picture, which I probably will frame. I like to look at that. I just got one also in another album recently that I will probably frame. So that's what I will do with that. It's got some cool pictures on the inside. That's a pretty cool picture of the legendary Ronnie James Dio. It's got that. Talks about the concert. This was recorded in New York. So anyway, one of the reasons why I said I picked this was because of the set list. Starts off, Killing the Dragon. You know, I wanted to have a live version of that. Egypt, The Chains Are On. Push, there's another different one. Drum solo, Stand Up and Shout, Rock and Roll, Don't Talk to Strangers. Man on the Silver Mountain, there's a guitar solo. Long Live Rock and Roll. Lord of the Last Day off of the Magica album. I know a lot of people do not like the Magica album. Personally, I liked it. Next up, Fever Dreams, also off of the Magica album. Holy Diver, Heaven and Hell, The Last in Line, Rainbow in the Dark, and We Rock. Now, the final side 6, are studio versions of songs. So he does This Is Your Life, Fever Dreams studio version, Push studio version, and The Eyes. So because, like I said, I have limited albums currently on vinyl. It was nice to have these studio versions of some different songs that you don't normally get to hear. Very happy to have this. Now, let me talk about the album a little bit. Ronnie, of course, sounds great. Ronnie, one of the greatest singers of all time in heavy metal or any other genre. Of course, this is from 2002. A little bit lower register than some of the earlier work from Ronnie, but nonetheless, Ronnie's lower register is great. He excels at that, and I think he sounds fantastic during that time. Very, he has a great growl to his voice. Very distinctive. Ronnie James Dio has one of the most distinctive voices ever. He was a very little guy with a very big voice. Stands out on here. The band sounds excellent. Like I said, I like the set list on this. Actually, one of my favorite moments is probably when they do Lord of the Last Day. Just to hear that performed live, it was great. I did get to see Ronnie on the Magic tour, so that was very cool. Killing the Dragon sounds great live. Fever Dreams also. There might be some moments on here where, because they're doing it live, it takes away a little bit from the song because, they want the crowd to sing along. This was done for a DVD originally. There is a DVD, Blu-ray of most of this concert. So you have a little bit of that element to it. There's a pretty lengthy guitar solo on here from Doug Aldrich. Doug Aldrich, great guitar player. Currently he's in the Dead Daisies. I love his playing. But the guitar solo does go on for quite a long time. And how many times you actually want to listen to that? You know what I mean? Same way with the drum solo. Drum solo is really good, but how many times do you really want to hear that? So that is kind of something that does take away a little bit because it is a live album. The other negative aspect, I will say, is the mix of it. I am not super crazy about the mix because I feel like the drums are mixed pretty low on this. The drums should be a little bit louder. That's just my opinion. Now the studio side, fantastic. Sounds great. The rest of it's not like it sounds bad, just not mixed quite the way I would like it. But Ronnie himself sounds great. I told you the set list, so it's a pretty strong set list. This, maybe if you're new to Dio, this is not the album I would recommend. I would tell you to get, Last in Line or something like that, or Holy Diver, one of his first two studio albums to start off with to get into Dio. But if you are already a Dio fan and, this is something you probably should own. This is great to have. I will probably be getting eventually the Sacred Heart album, live album from that tour from like 86. That'll probably be the next one I get. But this is just a good selection of real early Dio music and then later Dio music. So if you're a Dio fan, I highly recommend getting this album. I told you the positive and the negatives of it, so you can make up your own mind on that. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Until the next time, my friends, I will see you down the road.